Welcome to the garden. Today we're going to be making our own potting soil out of our outdoor compost. So the first thing you want to note is that you want nice finished compost. So I've sifted this until it's nice and fine, and that way I know that there's no large pieces of decomposing matter. And it smells fresh. It smells like earth. You want it to be nice and finished and smell mild. If it's a little sour or it smells off, then your compost is not ready. But we're going to sterilize that with a pot of boiling water here. So I'm just going to add our nice finished compost, and this is going to kill all the bugs. It's also going to kill the beneficial bacteria, but we're just using this for nutrients. We're not actually going to be decomposing any more organic matter, so losing the bacteria is not a big deal. But we're just going to throw that in our boiling water and let that sit for a minute and sterilize. And then we want to add lots of filler. So today I'm using this already made potting mix, but most potting mixes really don't have a lot of nutrients in them. So I feel comfortable adding our compost to this because this is like a mixture of wood chips and peat moss. This is it here. It has a little bit of perlite in there, but it's a lot of wood chips. If you're worried about the sustainability of peat moss, which is a sphagnum moss, and it only grows like, a couple centimeters a year. So a big bag like this is like decades of moss growth. So something more sustainable would be coconut coir, which is the husk of the coconut that's shredded up and then they compress it down. But I couldn't find it at any of the stores we went to, so I'm going to have to buy that online. But this potting mix was real cheap. You just want to get your ratios really high in your filler, which is your growing medium. That's the peat moss, the coconut coir, or the wood chip peat moss mix that we have. Because the compost is so high in nutrients that if you were to just use compost, you would have fungal growth. You could even be growing mushrooms inside. You really don't want that, so we're going to dilute it about 5-to-1 of our filler here. So I've already got a big bucket of this ready to go. And I'm just going to make a little well in the middle here. And we're going to add our sterilized compost. So if you have really nice dry filler, it's really going to benefit you because this is like a swampy, hot muck. So be careful when handling this. You may want to let it cool. But we're going to pour that in. Alright, that's good there. And to this, we're going to add a little extra perlite. This is that volcanic rock, and it just adds a little extra drainage and really helps lighten up your soil. So we've got about 5-to-1 of our compost to filler, and we're just going to lightly mix this in. And it's still hot, so I'm being fairly gentle here. But when it's finished, it should look nice and dark and rich. And when you store this, you want to leave it open a crack. If you've got a big container with a lid, you want to let air in and let this dry out. Because without any plants soaking up the moisture, it's just going to stay damp. But we want to dry this out. Mix it all up. And this is ready to go inside. So this is rich, It smells really nice and earthy. It's a beautiful mix, and our plants are going to love it. So that's how we do our indoor potting mix out of our outdoor compost. So I hope you give it a go. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.